Hi everybody, welcome to the Pigskin Postgame Wrap for Week 5 here in the Stanislaus District. I'm Joe Cortez, joined by VanderBeek and Ron Agostini. And where do we want to start?
Start with me. I had the best game of the night tonight.
You might have.
I think so.
I was at Chuck Hughes
They were
Stadium
all pretty
tonight.
good. We've all got some good stuff
We
here.
had some good games tonight, and one of them took place at Chuck Hughes Stadium at Downey High. Big showdown game in the Modesto Metro Conference between Modesto and Downey. One of the best city schools games I've seen in a long time. Won by Downey tonight, 35-32. Came down to the last play of the game from the 4-yard line. Modesto had a chance to win the game. They've had a very poor kicking game. They missed 5 extra points last week, so a field goal to push the game into overtime was out of the question. Rich Alkire decided to go for it. Nate Phillips threw incomplete to the pylon. Kendall McNair was sort of open there on a quick pass. Pass was a little too low. Hard to blame Nate Phillips. Great duel tonight between two undersized but gutsy, scrappy quarterbacks. Nate Phillips of Modesto, P.J. Wilson of Downey. Great crowd-pleasing game tonight.
Full crowd?
3,500 at Chuck Hughes Stadium. Everyone on their feet for the last series.
Nice.
That's the way high school football is supposed to be.
Yeah.
That is the way it's supposed to be. We had a little bit of everything. Downey High hit an 18-yard Hail Mary at the end of the half to one of the stars of the game.
18 yards?
18-yard Hail Mary.
It's more of a shot put than a Hail Mary.
Well, Wilson rolled to his right. He kind of waited, threw it, kind of a jump ball near the goalpost. Everyone went up in the air. Deflection to Jacob Magana, diving over the inline, keeping his feet in. Touchdown. And Downey led 21-12 at halftime.
You said Magana was the best player on the field today.
I thought he was.
Wow.
I thought he was, Joe. He intercepted 3 passes last week against Beyer to catch my eye. And then tonight, he opens the game by intercepting a fade pattern in the end zone to start the game. Then, this is what he does in the second half. 43-yard kickoff return to set up a touchdown. 37-yard kickoff return. And that's besides the Hail Mary at the end of the half. And then he and Will Gallo, Modesto's best receiver, had a wonderful duel in the second half today. Gallo could not cut. His ankles were too sore. He only caught like 4 or 5 balls. But
Too sore from what?
ankle.
Did he sprain him, or
no,
ankle problems?
He has ankle problems, persistent ankle problems. He hasn't been practicing much in recent weeks. He still gutted it out for 5 catches and a big fade pattern jump ball leap in the end zone over Magana to keep Downey in that game in the 4th quarter. It was just one of those games, Joe. It was just a lot of big plays on both sides. Downey's special teams carried the night, though. Opened the game with an onside kick. Boom, they're in the end zone and they're off and running.
So Magana's are due to the night, right?
I would say he's the dude of the night to keep Downey unbeaten 6-0.
Well, let's stay in the MMC. Okay. Beek, we'll put you on the back burner. I was over at Johansson High School for Beyer's homecoming. They hosted Gregori High School, and you know, it looked like Beyer was going to have an easy victory. They're up by 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter. But hold the phone.
Nice prop, Joe.
Wonder what that was for.
Nice prop.
But hold the phone.
So
they scored
handy.
late in the 4th quarter. Or midway through the 4th quarter, Hagan O'Brien zooms 48 yards untouched right through the line. Kind of gives Gregori some life. And then Beyer, really just trying to salt the game away, they botch a shotgun snap, and Matt Vargas pounces on it in the end zone. They tie the score, and then they win in overtime. O'Brien again scores the go-ahead touchdown for Gregori in overtime. First play, he just goes 10 yards. Gone. And Beyer couldn't answer. But, Gregori just looked out of it. And then all of a sudden, they're in it.
That late touchdown did it for them, huh?
Absolutely. And now they're 1-0. Beyer falls to 0-2 after losing to Downey last week.
Tough loss.
Tough loss this week. Beyer is 0-2. Gregori is a player right there with Downey High School. And Enox is 2-0. They won tonight. They won big over Johansson. So that's my report. Beek was at probably our showcase game of the night. Did you say?
It turned out to be a
I think
great game.
Yeah.
Sierra beats Central Catholic 17-14. It was really interesting. You know, Sierra's putting up Madden numbers all year. They scored. They've averaged more than 40 points in the first half of each of their 4 wins.
Right.
And then the question became, well, if they're pressed by a good team into playing 4 quarters, would they be able to?
That was the big question.
They answered it tonight. I mean, they hit with Central Catholic for 4 quarters. Neither offense did much. Central Catholic 288 total yards. Sierra 225. Mark Paulet, the Sierra running back, who he did go over 1,000 yards tonight.
Section's leading rusher.
Section's leading rusher, the first rusher in the section to eclipse 1,000. He has 1,001 now.
Wow.
After 92 yards on 19 carries. Justin Rice, 111 yards, 21 carries.
That's my guy.
He had a 1-yard dive, 2:23 left in the third quarter. That gave Central Catholic a 14-10 lead, first time all season Sierra has trailed in a game.
Really?
They exchanged. Well, they've been boat racing teams.
Yeah, but I mean, all season.
Yeah, so they
Wow.
after exchange of punts, Sierra goes on a drive. They hit Devin Nunes hits Hunter Johnson with a bomb up the right sideline to set up a 7-yard touchdown pass with 6:29 left. Hunter Johnson 8 catches for 136 tonight. Looks good. He may be the star of the game here. Central Catholic 6:29 left. 6:29 left. They're down 3. They embark on this really methodical drive. Even from the first play on it felt like Central Catholic knew this was going to be their last chance. Even though they had 2 timeouts, they treated this drive as their last chance. They took their time. They used their timeouts. Well, they finally crossed midfield. Well, they convert 2 fourth downs. They convert a long 3rd down. They finally get down to the 33-yard line of Sierra with like 36 seconds left. A swing pass goes nowhere. A trap goes nowhere. Loses 2. Finally, they end up having to throw 2 passes downfield, and both go incomplete. And there's your ball game. But Sierra held up for all 4 quarters, which again was the question. Central, I got to think Central was just a little flat in this game too.
Because of last week's.
Take nothing away from Sierra. They're 5-0 now, 2-0 in the VOL, but
The Bees' #1 team.
but their Central was flat tonight.
Well, I think maybe it caught up to a little bit to Central Catholic. They went to the wall with St. Mary's and Manteca in the last 3 weeks, and they had a couple key players either missing or
we've talked about that, you know, and we talked about it on Stanislaus Football Weekly about the war of attrition that
which we knew Central Catholic was going to go up against that in the VOL this year.
Yeah, but I think that would be more of a problem in Week 8, Week 9, Week 10.
But it's a problem now. Montel Bland played limited tonight, only on defense.
Right.
Navarro is still out.
But it's not like they're gassed because of the rigors of the VOL season.
It looked like they might have been.
The guy sprained an ankle in Week 3.
Exactly, but
Like
every time, but because they have 33 guys on the team, every time they lose 1 guy, it's like losing 2 guys because 7 guys go both ways, and they just don't have. They just really don't have the depth. They have really right now, nobody behind Justin Rice at running back to speak of, and he carries 21 times tonight, and really got pounded every time he took a. But anyway, take nothing away from Sierra at all because they really played well tonight, and they deserve this win.
I mean, Sierra was, when we talked about the VOL, it was always Manteca, Oakdale, Central Catholic, maybe Sierra.
Yeah.
Well, no more maybe now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, you're the only one of us who's seen Sierra this year.
Yeah.
Do we have it right? Sierra is our #1 large school team ahead of Oakdale and Central Catholic.
I haven't seen Oakdale.
You've seen Oakdale.
I've seen Oakdale. They're good.
We'll
They're
put our
bigger
heads
this year.
together
We'll see.
and hold the phone.
Yeah.
We'll see.
October 17 is the Oakdale-Sierra matchup
Right.
on the heels of the Oakdale-Manteca.
With that, in the VOL, these teams are going to start beating each
They're going to
other.
start. It's going to be like the SEC. They're going to start banging each other around.
Yeah. Entertaining league race.
Yeah.
Do you think Central with its second loss drops out of that #1 bowl position, even though they're playing much tougher teams?
I doubt it.
I don't think they can take a third loss.
Well, you've got McClymonds at 4-0 in the number 2 spot, and
Yeah.
Capital Christian in the 3 spot with a loss.
It really all depends. I mean, if Central Catholic, they could have 3 losses or 2 losses in the VOL plus their loss to St. Mary's and still win the section, of course.
Right.
And if they do that, at 7-3, it's still going to be hard to keep them out of that NorCal game.
Right.
So we'll see.
No, I think they'll still be in the top spot
Yeah.
when Cal High Sports releases that.
Quick look at scores. Anything? Speaking of letting down, Manteca 14, Lathrop 12.
Oh,
That is the
that's
letdown.
surprising.
That is a letdown.
Yeah. I mean, did Manteca give up too much in that? I mean, it's a letdown after losing to Central Catholic. But other scores that jump out at you here? East Union wins on homecoming.
They won on homecoming night.
Mr. Lancer.
The Lancers came through. Big homecoming win.
Pittman remains undefeated with a win over North Salinas. They're 4-0.
Ceres got up 21-7 against Livingston. Livingston storms back.
Livingston's Livingston.
4-1.
Nice season.
4-1 Wolves are they win 26-21.
There we go.
Ripon Christian
Yeah.
drops from the ranks of the unbeaten with a loss to LeGrand.
That was at LeGrand down south.
Mhm.
Modesto Christian.
Rolling up points.
They're fun to watch. They are really fun to watch. Could they win the TVL? Escalon. I mean, the rest of the TVL's off this week, so we'll see. But it could come down to Escalon, Modesto Christian.
You've seen MC, have you?
No.
I think I'm the only one seen MC. I saw MC just.
There's not too
whip
many
up,
of them, I know that.
Whip up. There's only 18.
18?
18,
With
I think. I think it's
Olsen,
18.
with Olsen out with a knee injury for the season, now the tight end.
And Sonora, our number 1 small school team, just roasted Calaveras 45-zip.
As Somerville was beating Bret Hart 41-0. So there's your top 2 teams in the Mother Lode League right there.
Quick shout out to the members, 17 members of the first Downey Modesto game were honored tonight before the Modesto-Downey game. 17 of those guys came back from the 1954 game,
That's
and they
nice.
were honored, and they got a standing ovation tonight.
Nice.
And they got a pretty good show for them to be there for a great game tonight. I forgot Jacob Magana. I didn't give him enough credit tonight. He had a 74-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, for Downey's last touchdown, in addition to his other 2 big kickoff returns, and his interception, and his jump ball in the end zone for a touchdown. Can't say enough about that kid tonight.
I want to give a shout out to your guy, Jay Green. He's a guy
He's legit.
90 yards tonight on
Yeah.
21 carries. I think it was 21
Jay
carries.
Green's one tough guy.
Demetrius Vincent was held to 51 yards, but he was sick all week with 100, with a fever north of 100. And Caleb Solfeld had 2 picks tonight.
He's a nice player too.
Yeah, he is.
The guys coming back to be honored from that 54 team remind me when I spoke with Eddie LeBaron a couple of years ago, and I asked him. I said, Eddie, at your size, do you think you could have played in this game? He goes, hell no, I'm 80 years old. Great answer.
That is a good answer.
Great answer.
Well, that does it, I think, right?
I think that
I
does
think
it.
that
Unless you got any more quips from Eddie LeBaron.
Or another phone.
Yeah, that's it for this week.
Okay.
For Ron and Brian, I'm Joe. Join us next week.